In a quaint suburban neighborhood named Harmony Grove, lived two families. The Jeffersons were an African-American family, proud of their culture and hard-working nature. Just across the street were the Harringtons, a white family with a long history in the area. Mrs. Harrington, Emily, was a middle-aged woman whose beliefs were rooted in prejudice and fear, leading her to harbor unwarranted resentment towards her neighbors. Emily's anger and frustration had been simmering for months, mostly triggered by petty misunderstandings. She had never experienced any serious issues with the Jeffersons, but her prejudiced mind painted them as troublemakers. Emily's stubbornness, coupled with the oppressive heat, reached a boiling point one fateful afternoon. As the sun descended, Emily sat on her front porch, her face flushed with irritation. Mr. Jefferson was outside tending to his garden, a sight that always irked Emily for no rational reason. Fueled by her animosity, she devised a deplorable plan. She marched to the backyard, where her two loyal German shepherds, Max and Bella, were resting. Emily rarely let her dogs off the leash, but this time, she unleashed them, hoping they would scare Mr. Jefferson away from his garden. The dogs bolted across the street, barking fiercely, their sharp teeth gleaming in the fading light. Mr. Jefferson, taken aback by the sudden onslaught, managed to retreat to the safety of his house. As Emily stood watching her dogs, the reality of her actions started sinking in. A wave of guilt and remorse washed over her, realizing the enormity of her mistake. The Jeffersons reported the incident to the authorities, and soon, news of the aggressive dog attack spread like wildfire throughout the community. Tensions soared, and the once peaceful neighborhood was now divided by anger and mistrust. In the days that followed, Emily couldn't escape the burden of her guilt. Sleepless nights tormented her, as she wrestled with the consequences of her actions. The gravity of her prejudice and how it had led her to commit such an appalling act weighed heavily on her conscience. Filled with remorse, Emily made a brave decision. She walked across the street, tears streaming down her face, and knocked on the Jeffersons' door. Mrs. Jefferson, initially hesitant, opened the door cautiously, but her expression softened as she saw the sincerity in Emily's eyes. I'm so sorry," Emily stammered. "I had no right to do what I did. I was blinded by my own misconceptions, and I want you to know that I deeply regret my actions." The Jeffersons were taken aback but also moved by Emily's confession. Mr. Jefferson, who had experienced racial prejudice in the past, understood that change was possible, even in the unlikeliest of circumstances. "I appreciate your apology," he said, his voice firm yet forgiving, "but we can't ignore the hurt your dogs caused. It's not just about the incident, it's about the underlying prejudice that led to it." Emily nodded, acknowledging the truth in his words. She knew that an apology couldn't erase the past, but she was determined to make amends and work towards a better future. After some time of interaction, the Jeffersons forgave Emily and dropped all charges against her. She promised to be a better person. As the seasons changed, so did Emily. She began volunteering at local community centers and engaging in outreach programs, striving to bridge the gap between her and her neighbors. Emily realized that change wasn't an overnight process but a lifelong journey of growth and self-awareness. As the years passed, Emily's journey of redemption continued to shape the fabric of Harmony Grove. The once fractured neighborhood now stood as a symbol of unity and compassion. Emily's transformation had not only affected her immediate surroundings but also inspired change beyond the confines of her community. In her ongoing pursuit of healing and understanding, Emily joined local initiatives aimed at promoting racial equality. She actively participated in diversity workshops, organized fundraisers for underprivileged communities, and became a vocal advocate for social justice. Her voice resonated with others, drawing attention to the issues of racial prejudice and discrimination that still persisted in society. Her story of transformation spread far and wide, reaching the hearts of many who struggled with their own biases and fears. A renowned local newspaper featured Emily's journey on its front page, portraying her as an example of personal growth and societal transformation. Television stations picked up the story, and soon, Emily was invited to share her experiences on talk shows and community forums. Her newfound platform allowed Emily to reach a broader audience. She delivered heartfelt speeches about her path to redemption, urging people to confront their prejudices and open their hearts to compassion. Emily's words struck a chord with many, encouraging them to embark on their own journeys of self-awareness and empathy. One chilly winter evening, Emily organized a community-wide gathering to celebrate the progress made in Harmony Grove. The event featured performances, speeches, and art exhibits, all centered around the theme of unity. People from different backgrounds shared their stories, finding strength and inspiration in each other's resilience. As the night unfolded, Emily approached the podium to deliver her most impactful speech yet. The audience fell silent, their eyes fixed on the woman who had transformed her life and community. "Thank you all for being here tonight," Emily began. "Years ago, I made a grave mistake that forever changed the course of my life. I allowed prejudice and fear to dictate my actions, and I hurt my neighbors, the Jeffersons, deeply. But through this journey, I have learned that change is possible. We can confront our biases and embrace our diversity to build a stronger and more compassionate society." She continued, "Harmony Grove is proof that when we open our hearts and minds to understanding, we can build bridges of compassion that span any divide. Our differences do not define us, they enrich us. Let us strive to create a community where everyone feels welcomed and valued, regardless of their background or identity." As Emily concluded her speech, the crowd erupted in applause, acknowledging the profound impact of her words. Emily's journey, however, faced occasional challenges. There were those who resented her transformation, unable to let go of their own prejudices. Some believed she was seeking redemption for self-serving reasons, and others dismissed her efforts as performative acts to improve her public image. These criticisms, though hurtful, did not deter Emily. She knew that true change required resilience and an unwavering commitment to her principles. One day, Emily received a letter from a young woman named Sarah, who had read about her journey in a magazine. Sarah shared her experiences of growing up in a community rife with racial tensions and how Emily's story had inspired her to confront her own biases. Touched by the heartfelt letter, Emily decided to meet Sarah in person. They spent hours sharing their stories and exchanging perspectives, with Emily offering guidance and encouragement to the young woman. Months passed, and Emily received a call from Sarah, informing her about a new organization who would like to partner with her. The organization, Harmony Initiatives, aimed to promote racial harmony through education, dialogue, and community outreach. The organization organized workshops in schools, engaging students in discussions about diversity and inclusion. The organization's work expanded to neighboring communities and cities, spreading the message of unity and social justice. Harmony Initiatives became a network of support and guidance for those navigating the path of change. With each passing year, Harmony Grove continued to thrive as a diverse and inclusive community. In recognition of her contributions, Emily received numerous awards and honors. However, she remained humble, understanding that her journey was only a part of a larger movement towards societal healing. As Emily grew older, she watched with pride as new generations carried the torch of compassion and unity forward. The work she had started had become a lasting legacy, a testament to the power of personal transformation and collective action. On her 75th birthday, the community gathered to celebrate Emily's life and the profound impact she had made. Among the crowd were old friends, neighbors, and even those who had once doubted her intentions but had since learned from her example. In that moment, Emily felt a profound sense of peace and fulfillment, knowing that her actions had rippled through time and space, leaving behind a legacy of unity and love.